We've got a loaded show coming up here on Giants Now by Chat Sports. Daniel Jones has been demoted to QB4. They have signed a quarterback. Rumors are heating up that they could cut Daniel Jones maybe tomorrow. And also Drew Lock sounds off on being the backup to Tommy Cutlets. Before we dive into all of that, though, I got to make sure everyone watching today's show is subscribed to Giants Now by Chat Sports. A lot of stuff is happening, and we're going to have you covered here on YouTube. But also, make sure you have turned on your notifications. You guys see the numbers here. They're a little low, and I don't want you to miss anything. So make sure you've hit that bell icon and go into your setting apps on your phone, and make sure that you have push notifications enabled for your app YouTube. What's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. A lot to talk about. The Giants, as we know, have benched Daniel Jones. They have made Tommy DeVito the starter over Drew Lock, but there is so much more meat left on the bone when it comes to this story. Daniel Jones was going to be QB3 heading into this week, but they went out and they signed veteran quarterback Tim Boyle. Who the hell is Tim Boyle? If you know, you know. He has started 2 games this year for the Miami Dolphins, lost both those games. He's also started in 5 games in his NFL career since 2019. He is 0-5 in those ball games. But it's not about the New York Giants just signing Tim Boyle. It's the fact that he has already surpassed Daniel Jones on the depth chart. Jones was the QB4 at practice today, and he was going through the motions. And I don't want to say the guy was sulking or pouting, but I've talked to people, and there were multiple pictures and videos that surfaced. Daniel Jones had a hoodie on under his pads, and he didn't look all too checked. And look, the Giants are essentially deactivating Daniel Jones. They have no intention of playing him. He probably won't even suit up for any games the rest of this season. It'll probably be Tim Boyle as that emergency 3 QB. So why keep him at practice if he's not going to do anything to help you win? He's only going to be a distraction. And that's what I say here. Just send him home. We saw the Las Vegas Raiders do that with Derek Carr before. And Dan Duggan of The Athletic, he somewhat agrees with what I said. He said, after giving this more thought, the best thing for all involved is for Daniel Jones to leave the Giants right now. They are obviously completely done with him, so there's no point in having him show up every day for 7 weeks and go through the motions. It's what the Raiders and Derek Carr did in a similar situation in 2022. Granted, that was only for 2 weeks. Jones can focus on preparing for his future, while the Giants can limit potential distractions and eliminate any injury risk. After today and him being pretty much out of the picture for the New York Giants, a lot of people started to speculate, could they cut him now? What does it mean if they cut him now? Do they save any money now? Is it worse if they cut him now than if they wait until February? I thought Ryan Dunleavy did a good job of breaking it down. He did an article on it as well. You can go check it out. He says, seems to be some reader confusion on salary cap implications if the Giants cut QB4 Daniel Jones right now to end the awkwardness. I asked a cap expert to explain it. No, the Giants would not suddenly have a $69.3 million dead cap charge to absorb in 2024 if they cut him. Essentially, at this point, because it's after June 1st, it's $22.2 dead million in 2025, whether he is cut today, January 7th, or March 1st. The Giants might actually get a small amount of 2024 salary cap relief if Jones landed elsewhere because his guarantee has an offset. Of course, it wouldn't make sense for Jones to sign for more than the prorated league minimum elsewhere. And really, it just comes down to the Giants still want Daniel Jones in the building. Do they want him to be a part of this organization going forward? And do they want to have the salary cap implications be a pre-June 1st cut or a post-June 1st cut? And here are the numbers on that. If you cut Daniel Jones now, if you cut him tomorrow, if you cut him February 1st, March 1st, or whatever, you're going to have $19.3 million in salary cap savings. You'll have a dead cap charge of $22.2 million. If you wait until after June 1st, you have a dead cap charge essentially split up. A $11.1 million dead cap charge in 2025 and 2026, and you save $30 million in 2025. Thing is, though, if you cut someone and designate them as a post-June 1st cut, that cap savings, which in this situation is $30.5 million, you cannot use that in free agency. Again, you cannot use that in free agency because you don't get that cap relief until June 1st, and all the guys are signed at that moment. So Joe Schoen will have to decide, do I want $19.3 million in salary cap relief right now to use in free agency and take the full dead cap charge of $22 million, or do I want to spread it out over 2025 and 2026 and then just have $30 million in cap space become available on June 1st of 2025? Look, the only reason to cut Daniel Jones now is to remove him from the team, to remove all distractions, completely tell your organization, your roster, your coaches, and everybody that we are moving on and we are full speed ahead for a new era of Giants football. You also have no plans to play him. There's no need to waste time for the New York Giants and him getting QB4 reps at practice, or for you to waste his time. He's not a part of this organization. You are not going to play him. You just signed Tim Boyle to demote Daniel Jones to QB4. He doesn't want to be there. You clearly don't want him there. I get cutting him right now. I don't have a problem with doing it. The only question I would ask Joe Schoen is, do you want the salary cap implications to be pre-June 1st or post-June 1st? I would select pre-June 1st. Just swallow it all right now, pause, and use that $21 million in salary cap relief to help you build out this roster, or $19.3 million to build out this roster in free agency. What would you do if you were Joe Schoen? Would you cut Daniel Jones right now, or would you wait to maybe the offseason? Or would you be a post-June 1st cut? Type C for cut now, type W for wait, or if you're post-June 1st, just comment that down below. Coming up next, Drew Lock finally spoke to the media about staying as QB2, with the QB3 leapfrogging him to become QB1. And he was upset and a little bit disgruntled, but he's an ultimate pro and he's going to handle it the right way. But his comments were damning of the situation that is going on right now in East Rutherford. We'll talk about that in a second, but first, I got to give a major shout out to our proud sponsor, DraftKings. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets when you use that promo code NIXCHAT. The Emirates NBA Cup is here. You can win big getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. All 30 teams split into 6 groups every Tuesday and Friday, playing for the right to advance in the single elimination in-season tourney, culminating in the NBA Cup Championship in Vegas. First time, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code NIXCHAT. That's code NIXCHAT for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/BBALL.
Shout out to DraftKings, our proud sportsbook partner. Smitty slate for Week 12, going with a couple of road warriors here. And first, unfortunately, it is going to be the Buccaneers. They get Mike Evans back this week, and I think they're going to beat up on Tommy DeVito and then Ben Big Blue. Give me the Pats +7 in a divisional matchup against the Dolphins as well. Seems like too big of a spread for me. And then 10.5. I'm taking that with the Chiefs against the Carolina Panthers. Feels like a bounce-back spot for them and a letdown spot for Carolina. Fade my picks, tail my picks, do it at DraftKings and use our promo code NIXCHAT. $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5.
That Tampa Bay defense, it's terrible. Could Tommy DeVito come out there and light him up?
We'll see.
We will see. All righty. Drew Lock, asked by the media today, essentially, what did you think of all of this unfolding? How did it unfold? Why do you think they made that decision, and what did they tell you? I thought it was a really interesting question. They said pretty much, why are you QB2, and why do you think they told you you were going to be QB2, and they sold you that idea when they signed you, and it didn't happen? He said, that's a question that I might still have for myself. It was expressed to me that I was going to be QB2. It is an interesting situation. Drew Lock is a pro. he's going to be able to handle this. He'll take it on the chin. He'll move on. He'll go be a backup somewhere else. And look, I'm not going to come up here and say Drew Lock was going to save the season. I'm not going to say Drew Lock would have got the Giants to the playoffs. But the right thing to do was when you signed him to be your quarterback 2, and you had him as your quarterback 2 for week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for QB2. Whereas if Daniel Jones would have got hurt, he would have been the backup quarterback. And the guy that went in there, you should have given him the opportunity to be the starter when you bench Daniel Jones. That's what you sold him on. You gave him $3 million in possible incentives that he could only reach if he was a starter. I mean, it's awful. And the reasoning is even worse. What Daboll told Locke. Locke said he was told the decision to go with DeVito was based on the way the team rallied around Tommy DeVito last season. Last season when Locke wasn't on the team. So if that's what you believed, if you believed that Tommy DeVito should have been the backup quarterback the whole time because of what he did last season, why did you sign Drew Lock? Why did you give him $5 million? Why did you waste his time? And why did you make your front office look foolishness to every player in the National Football League? This is a bad look for the New York Giants. In the grand scheme of things, is it awful? No, but I promise you, there are players that are on this team going to be free agents that are saying, man, they're going to lie to us in free agency to come join their team, and they're not going to back anything that they said. Look what they did to Drew Lock. And I don't think it's a good thing that Drew Lock is rep by CAA, one of the bigger sports agencies in the NFL, in all of professional sports. I promise you his agent has other NFL clients, and he might be not so interested in having his other clients believe or sign with the Giants because he had one that just got lied to by Joe Schoen and taken advantage of. Oh, man. And now there's rumors coming out that Joe Schoen is not liked in the locker room. They don't like how this went down. They don't like how the Nick McLeod thing went down. They don't like how the Saquon Barkley thing went down. Joe Schoen is apparently not a really liked man right now in that New York Football Giants locker room. And Jordan Schultz came out with this saying, there is disappointment among some Giants players regarding how the Daniel Jones situation was handled over the past week, especially with players aware it was primarily a financial decision by the organization. Dexter Lawrence publicly stated on Tuesday, quote, he's the QB1 to me. He's the best quarterback on the team. Also, one offensive player, Darius Slayton, told me over the phone, quote, we're not idiots. They did it because of the money. So be it. But Daniel has been all class, never complained, and is now being completely disregarded. The team record is bad. You can point fingers everywhere to try to blame him is trash, and making him third string is weak as blank. Not even third string, he's fourth string. The sense I've gotten from multiple sources, players, coaches, and executives is that the issues within the organization go far beyond just one person. I mean, if that's not good. I mean, I don't really care what Darius Slayton has to say. He won't be on this team next year. And I don't really care if players are upset by the Daniel Jones benching. I honestly like that they're upset a little bit, but it stems so much deeper than that. They haven't been happy with a lot of things. And really, I don't want my general manager being the most popular man in the building because he's got to make tough decisions. But the Giants just seem like a mess right now. They do. I remember doing the video a couple of weeks ago when John Mara issued a vote of confidence in Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll. And I said a lot could happen and a lot can change in 10 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since that, and a lot has changed and a lot has happened. The funniest thing in the world to me is this. The easiest decision in the world was to bench Daniel Jones. You're 2-8. Your season's over. You just lost to the Carolina Panthers where you scored 17 points. You were heading into a bye week, and he's got a major injury clause in his contract. The easiest thing for an NFL team to do over the last week was to bench Daniel Jones. And somehow the New York Football Giants botched it. You botched benching Daniel Jones, the guy that is 3-14 in his last 17 starts. Somehow you couldn't even get that right. You went with the circus show of Tommy DeVito to reignite the fan base, to put butts in seats, to get people to care. It's unbelievable. What can go wrong has gone wrong for the New York Giants this year. Look, I 100% think it should have been Daniel Jones, but it should have been Drew Lock. Remember, guys, it's not week 15. It's not week 16. It's week 12. You have 7 more games left. You could have played Drew Lock for 3 games, and you could have made everybody happy and not upset potential future clients. And if he sucked, you could have still gone to DeVito. But what do I know? Are Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll the right guys for the job? I said last week I'd stick with them. A lot of bad things have happened in the last week. Yes or no? Let me know what you think. Are they the right guys for the job? Make sure you have turned on your notifications. Simply click the bell icon below, select all, and then go into your settings app on your phone and allow push notifications for the YouTube app. And make sure you are following me on social media. We'll see you later. Go Big Blue.